barriers. I think the biggest barrier of all is the lack of executive agility. I see lots of progress with teams, with suppliers making progress. But there's a kind of a mistaken belief that agility is something that can happen without creating an environment for it to grow and develop well. And I was actually talking to Joe Krebs yesterday. He was training me on Agile Kata, and he said something that really inspired me. He said, we can't really start the whole Agile thing if, with PowerPoint decks in exec meeting rooms. We need to use things like open space. Like it needs to feel different. It needs to look different. And this whole thing about serving, give me a proper slide deck. I mean, it's okay. I get it. Sometimes I need to do that. But you know what? Sometimes maybe you need to change the way you engage with me as well, because we're trying to do something really, really different here. And do you want to do something different or not? Do you want to do it the same way? We can do it the same old way, but you're going to get efficiency tunnel vision. You're going to get more profits and all that, but you'll get disrupted eventually. And you might get deleted yourself as an executive. So executive agility, number one. Number two, it would be the supporting or enabling functions. So I find a lot of the time, executives actually don't have any real power. That might be surprising to some people, particularly in matrix organizations. Sometimes a really senior executive, like only 2 levels below the chairman of the company, like CEO -1, sometimes they can't even get a purchase order signed. Yeah, they have to go through all sorts of bureaucratic stuff, and it's like they're kind of stuck in this trap. The organization has tied itself up in knots. And so what I did when I was in a major oil company was I worked with all of the supporting functions, they call it, in that company, and I negotiated ways of working. I know you want us to do all these things, but if we're going to deliver more regularly, there's more work to be done because you got more releases. I know that's painful, but we do want to be responsive and adaptive to what's coming to the market. The customers are actually asking for this, and we can't be just holding up all the releases and building up loads of risk because you just want to do the work once. That's the old way. That's not the new way. And can you meet us once a month? And I'll ask you 2 questions. Are you happy? Are you engaged? If you say no to either of those 2 questions, I need to talk to you more during the month. And the key thing is, when I'm talking to these supporting functions, I explain to them that rules are important, but we need to understand the spirit behind the rules. And because rules are based on history, controlling risk from the past. We need to think of what's the spirit behind the rules? What are we trying to control here? What risks are we trying to manage here? And then if the teams can show an alternative way to manage that risk, that's what I negotiated in that major oil company, and it went on really well. We had 20 control rules, and we gave people alternative ways to demonstrate. They didn't have to, you have to do a spreadsheet. I said, this form, you didn't fill in that drop-down box. Rubbish. That's like, you don't even know why we need to fill that out. Like, why do we need this spreadsheet? To control what risk? Okay, now we got it. Okay, so we have an alternative way. It's on Kanban or it's on Jira, whatever. Yeah, there it is. It's all there. Here's the link. Boom, done. Tick. So supporting functions. And then I would say also whoever's in charge of the workflows, processes, and systems for how people get inspired in the company, or demotivated, should I say. Because we can do all the work in the world, the executives can make great progress, we can do work with our supporting functions, but if individuals are literally stepping on top of it, not literally, but almost literally stepping on top of each other to compete against each other, to get competed to go up, it doesn't matter what game we're playing. The game is, if you want to go up, you want to get more money for your family, you want to pay the mortgage, you need to send a little email, that work I did with Darren, I did that, kind of downplay Darren's effort in that, and really good effort that he put in. Poor Darren is none the wiser. We always find out, I always find out, and Darren will find out. But that's the game people play, and I've been promoted by the time anybody finds out. And that's what happens. And so we need to go to, instead of vertical growth, we need to be able to grow horizontally. There needs to be, in the system, we need a situation where when we want to be more agile, when we want to get more money, when we want to do better in life, better in the company, we can grow additional skills, not just technical skills, but also business domain skills. Working together, creating more flexible teams, creating a more flexible organization, so that when someone comes along to try and take our breakfast, our lunch, and our dinner, we can turn really fast. We're not a super tanker anymore. We're a fighter jet. And that's what we need. They're the three biggest barriers, I would say.